Don't get me wrong, I love the Quest 2. It's an amazing piece of technology, but is it perfect? No, of course not. So today I've got 5 things I hate about the Quest 2. In fact, let me know down in the comments what drives you crazy about the Quest 2 and what you would do to fix it. Who knows, maybe we can make a difference on the next iteration of the Quest. Number 1, it needs accessories. I was reminded of this the other day when my uncle was over at my house and I was getting a brand new Quest 2 setup for him. Man, do I hate the stock strap and foam that come with the Quest 2. From a technical standpoint, it is ready to use out of the box, but from a comfort standpoint, you really got to spend extra money to actually make it usable for any length of time. Whether you're buying the Elite strap, the Bobo VR strap, or whatever other strap, you're going to need something different than the stock strap. On top of the strap you're going to need to replace, you're also going to need to replace the facial interface, at least in my opinion. It's a little better now because they include the silicone face thing that goes over the facial interface, but it's still pretty darn hard. Back when the Quest 2 first came out, I said the texture felt like those egg crate things you put on your bed to try to make it more comfortable. Well, that's essentially what the stock facial interface feels like, and I hate it. Needless to say, I'm not a fan of the strap or the facial interface. Now, some people are okay with it, but in my opinion, when you buy the Quest 2, whether it's for $299 or $399, depending on the size, you're going to need to spend some more money, not just on those accessories. In my opinion, you really need grips to go on the controllers because the controllers are super slippery when your hands get sweaty at all, and you really need something to grab onto with some sort of texture. So all in, depending on what you buy, you could easily spend $100 just to get what you need to make the Quest usable for long periods of time. I personally have 3 Elite straps that I've used, and I haven't had any issues with them at all, but there are other straps that you can check out. I'll put alternative links in the description if you'd like, and the facial interface that I use has always been VR cover. I'll put a link in the description to that as well. Number 2, the cumbersome UI and social system. I mentioned the other day that I got a Quest 2 set up for my uncle. Well, when trying to explain to him how to do everything, I was reminded again of how cumbersome some of the user interface and the social system can be to actually get working, especially for someone that is not familiar with it or is not necessarily super technologically savvy. There is a lot going on in the user interface. Now, I use it every single day, so I know exactly where to find everything, how to get there, and how to do it quickly. But that doesn't mean that it's easy or that it's efficiently done. Add that to the fact that it consistently changes with updates. Now it's slowly moving towards being more accessible and better, especially compared to a while ago, but it still, in my opinion, has a long way to go to give you a seamless experience. Not only is it cumbersome though, it tends to stop working from time to time, at least when it comes to the social system. I am consistently having issues finding people in my friends list or sending them friend requests or getting notifications when they send me a request to play with them or getting into a social game using the social system. I tend to stay away from the social system when I can and use in-game social systems just because it tends to be a lot more consistent. So between the cumbersome user interface and the social system issues, it can be awful hard for someone new to jump into the Quest, especially if they're not used to navigating lots of different menus and exploring to find what they need. Honestly, I just wish that they would pare down a lot of what's there, simplify the menu system, and make an advanced section where if you want to change all those settings or if you need more stuff to pile through, you can find it. But as of right now, it can be pretty darn confusing for someone jumping in unless you've got someone else talking you through what's going on, or you want to spend a while trying to figure out where you need to go to change settings or to do something you want to do. Number 3, inconsistent updates. Now, updates are awesome. I love the new features that they bring. I love what they're doing to the platform and where it's come from when it launched. But at the same time, updates tend to break things, and it's pretty obvious when you go on Reddit or any social platform where people are having issues after an update that is the case. Now, that doesn't mean it's anyone's fault. It's not because they pushed an update and they intentionally broke things, although sometimes things do get removed in updates or moved or adjusted and it ends up causing issues, but overall, updates are pretty inconsistent. And I'm not talking about the slow rollout, although that can be pretty inconsistent as well and can take weeks or even months for people to get the actual update. update that they should have gotten. I honestly don't know how to fix this one. Maybe doing testing on the updates. Reality is the slow roll is supposed to help with that. So when it's slowly rolling out, they can see what the issues are with the update and roll it back if they need to, if it's really bad, or make adjustments so that it actually works once it hits all of the headsets. Like I said, it's hard to say how to fix this one. I personally don't get a lot of problems with the updates or the inconsistencies, but I see it everywhere, and I have gotten from time to time issues with an update that have broken something or just made something not work properly. Hopefully that's just something that can iron itself out over time, and we'll see more consistency in updates in the future. Number 4, the Facebook login requirement. This is kind of controversial in some ways because some people couldn't care less and some people won't buy the Quest 2 because of the Facebook login. Some people are in between, they don't like it, but they deal with it because they want to use the Quest 2. I personally don't really care about the Facebook login requirement on my side, although it is annoying to have it connected to my personal Facebook account. I'd much prefer not having it connected to that. But the reason it's on my list is because it is keeping some people away from the Quest 2, and it's also making it a little less accessible. For instance, I know of several people with ages ranging from early 20s all the way up to over 60 that didn't have a Facebook account, they didn't plan on getting a Facebook account, and had to create one just for the Quest 2. It's kind of naive to think that everyone in the world has a Facebook account, and so when you buy a Quest 2, you'll just log in with your existing Facebook account. Although a lot of people have them or have had them, there's still a lot of people out there that don't or don't want one. The good thing about this thing that I hate is that supposedly they are removing the Facebook login requirement. Now, it was supposed to be removed sometime this year. We have yet to see that, but I know a lot of people will be happy once the Facebook login requirement goes away. This does go hand in hand with a few things. For instance, if you have issues on your Facebook account, if you get banned on Facebook or locked out of a Facebook account for any reason whatsoever, whether it's being hacked or somebody reports you for something that you didn't necessarily do, or even because you did something you shouldn't have done, it affects your gaming library on your Quest 2. I personally don't think that should be a thing. I think it should be totally separate, and hopefully that'll be the case sometime later this year. Speaking of Facebook, number 5 is the name change. Yes, I'm going to mention it because I don't really care for it. Meta Quest 2 does not have the same ring that the Oculus Quest 2 does. Now, I'm also glad that they're not calling the headset the Meta 2 or some ridiculous thing like that and just getting rid of the Quest name altogether, because I do love the Quest, and now I just call it the Quest or Quest 2 instead of the Oculus Quest or Quest 2. But personally, I'm not a huge fan of the name Meta. It doesn't really affect me from a technology standpoint or what the software does, but I'm still not a fan. And the fact that all the branding is changing on all the headsets doesn't help. But again, that's just personal opinion, and it doesn't really change how we're experiencing things on the Quest 2. Well, there you go. There's 5 things I hate about the Quest 2, or at least the Quest 2 platform, or whatever you want to call it. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I love the Quest 2. I use it on a daily basis. This whole channel is based on the Quest 2, so I don't hate the actual hardware. There are things, though, I don't like about it. And unless we say what we don't like, then Meta will not know what needs to be fixed for the next one. But what are your thoughts? Are these things that you don't like about the Quest 2 as well? Or maybe you have other things that you would rather have changed in the next iteration? Let me know down in the comments what you're thinking and what you would do to fix it. Who knows? Maybe some of these things will be fixed in the next iteration, and Meta will see our thoughts and will actually have an impact on the future of the Quest platform. Also, if you want to get the most out of your Quest and your Quest 2, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the bell icon for notifications, and you can check out more of my videos right there on the screen. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe and happy questing.